off. Oh god, the flies in Australia drive me fucking crazy. Obviously, from whichever country you're from, you have flies, but the flies in Australia are fucking extra annoying. Like, they're so annoying. Whew. Anyway, sorry about that. So it's good to be back for another episode. Thank you for joining me. And today I have a good episode lined up for you. So the last episode was based on my life update over the past month and a bit while I was away. And pretty much how I have stopped drinking alcohol or binge drinking alcohol. I haven't completely stopped. Well, I haven't had a drink for a month and a bit, but yeah, I was talking about how I stopped drinking alcohol. So today I'm going to talk about, in relation to that, how I actually managed to stop. And pretty much I'm going to give you a guide to self-help. I'm by no means a guru or an expert on this topic. I'm just giving you my formula of how I stopped and the process that I went through just to be able to put myself back on track, because I was falling a bit out of line in life for a second, but I'm back. So this can relate to anything in life. It doesn't have to be about your bad drinking habits like mine, or it can be what you want to prove on in anything: education, health, fitness, general well-being, anything. So yeah, I've called it a guide to self-help, and if you follow these instructions or these steps, don't have to follow them all. It's just like a lot of questions you need to ask yourself to put you on the right track and be where you want to be in life. A lot of you guys are not, if not my age, around my age or younger, or you grew up with me. Fuck off, you stupid cunt. By the way, I need a guide to self-help. Stop abusing fucking bugs and calling them cunts. Fuck. So, yeah, a lot of you guys have grown up with us, and some of you may not have had the help or assistance you need set in place to assist you. So, hopefully this helps. Anyway, enjoy the episode, and let's get straight into Jay's painting in 3, 2, 1. Okay guys, so let's get into it. Now this is the first kind of video I've done like this, where it's almost like a guide. I'm honored to have you guys as one of my first students. Welcome to A Guide to Self-Help. I'm your teacher, Mr. Brooks. Thanks for being punctual and on time, and thank you for being here. That's a start. Now not everyone here listening needs a guide to self-help. Maybe you're just curious, maybe you got nothing else to do. So yeah, I'm not going to blab on too much. I'm just going to get straight into it. So, a guide to self-help. Where do you start? Well, you start with self-evaluation and reflection. This guide will consist of mostly questions that you need to ask yourself before you can take action. So the first thing you need to do and reflect on is your current situation. What is it that you don't like about your life right now? What is holding you back? There might be multiple things holding you back. And more often than not, there is one root cause or underlying issue that is the stem of multiple issues that is contributing to holding you back. So I had to ask myself this question: where do I see myself in a few months if I don't change my behavior or poor habits? And honestly, my life wasn't getting much better if I didn't change. So change was necessary, and I knew that I had to do whatever it takes to help me get back on path. I had to ask myself if there's anything that I could realistically change in order to improve myself. And yeah, there were a lot of things, many things, some big, some small. So in a few months, I wanted my life to be completely different. I wanted to have a stable job, stable income, be fit and healthy, and live a generally more positive life. Now, how do I do that? How do I get myself on track to do that? Well, what I started with was setting short-term goals. Now, short-term goals are crucial in order to form habits that will place you in path to your long-term goals. Here's an example of a short-term goal. Wake up at 7 AM every morning. Fix your bed every morning. Wash your dishes after every meal. Go to the gym for 1 month. Even start with go to the gym for a week. Now, what you're doing by creating these short-term goals is you're teaching yourself discipline, and you're getting yourself into a structure. Once you start kicking these short-term goals, you then start having self-belief and say to yourself, hey, if I keep achieving more and more short-term goals, add them all together, I'm well on path to reaching my ultimate long-term goal. So long-term goals are achieved by months and months and years of mastering your short-term goals and having a steady life structure set in place. Having said all this, it's also very important to put aside time for your hobbies, entertainment, and relaxing or downtime. It's a must so you don't burn yourself out and you have the mental and physical energy to keep going. So once you've set these short-term goals, you can ask yourself where you'd like to see yourself in a few months. And then once you've asked these kind of questions, you can then start asking yourself, where would you like to be in 5 years? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Now for me, it's quite scary asking myself where I see myself in 5 years. I'm 25 in 5 years, or less than 5 years really, 4.5 years. I will be 30, the big 30. And I'll be one of those guys saying 30 is the new 20, you know, just to keep up with the youngsters. It's a scary thought, but it's a necessary thought. You don't want to turn 30 and be like, fuck, I should have started 5 years ago. No, you want to put yourself in place now and start setting yourself up for when you do start getting older. For me, I see myself in 5 years, hopefully still single. I don't know why I keep saying hopefully. Maybe I'm just scared of commitment. Maybe I just really like doing things on my own and fucking around on the side. No, I don't have to upset anyone. I can just please myself. So yeah, in 5 years, I see myself with my own house, steady job, being financially stable and healthy and fit. So back to my short-term goals. Where do I see myself in a few months? I see myself remaining in a positive mindset, eating the right foods, fit, healthy, and striving. So in order to achieve that, I now have to ask myself, is there anything stopping me right now from getting to that place? Now, when I asked that a month ago, it was alcohol. That was the underlying root cause of most of my problems and things holding me back. So you need to be honest with yourself and accept it. You need to look at anything stopping you from getting to that place. It might be a friend, a family member, anything toxic to your life. You need to address it head on, confront it, and get rid of it or deal with it. You can't have any shit like that holding you back. It's like trying to get through a locked door. So once you've addressed any issues or things stopping you from getting to that place, you then need to ask yourself, is there anything that I could do to get to that place? Something that will assist me to get there faster. Something like extracurricular or something. It's like if you're training for a marathon. Sure, you train daily, but then you can chuck in extra sessions during the day. Just a bit of extra work that can push you to reach that goal faster. And then once you've addressed all these things, you need to finally ask yourself, am I going to be committed to this change? Now you need to be honest with yourself, and this is important because once you've made this commitment to yourself, there's no going back. You can have support from your friends, family, people online, strangers, but the most important support you need to have from someone is from yourself. Once you truly have the self-belief and you've truly made a deal with yourself that you're going to commit to this change, that's when you can start going. Now this leads me into the action. You need to start small and gradually build. It's like with most things. It's like when you're starting on a medication, you gradually build the dosage up. You can't just go from one extreme to the other. Sure, there's always the exception to the rule. Some people can. But the most effective way is to start small and gradually build with a steady incline. Every single achievement that you succeed in is a victory. It doesn't matter how big or small it is. These little victories build to set you up for success. For long-term success, that is. So if you start waking up at 7 a.m. every day, that's something you weren't doing before. That's a victory. If you fix your bed every morning, now this is something Jordan Peterson says, fix your bed. I haven't actually read his book, 12 Rules for Life, but you can take a lot out of it. It's just something that you can do first thing in the morning when you wake up, you fix your bed. That's something you weren't doing before, that's something you're doing now. All these little victories add up and turn into a big victory. A big no-no, don't compare yourself to others. Comparing yourself to others is the thief of joy. When you compare yourself to others, you can psychologically eliminate any progress you've made. In reality, you should be proud of the progress that you've made, but once you compare yourself to someone else, you think you're not doing enough, you think you're not enough, you think that other person is better than you, and your thoughts just turn negative. All of that is harmful to the potential growth that is required to succeed long term. It's important to remember that everyone is at a different stage in their life. Some people move faster, some people move slower. Some people, just by chance, are presented with opportunities that you may have to work a little harder for. When trying to achieve your goals, it's important not to listen to other people's unnecessary opinions. That is, unless, of course, they offer you something you can truly take from and not just a counterproductive, subjective opinion. Unless they offer something that is of great substance and intuitiveness, then don't listen to them. If they have nothing productive to add to the conversation, then their opinion is not important and is not required to reach your goals. In fact, they're probably jealous of the change and the fact that they can't commit to something like you can. And they're going to do everything in their willpower to hold you down and keep them at their level. So don't listen to people's unnecessary bullshit opinions. If you're trying not to drink, a true friend would support that. They wouldn't say, come on, just do one, please, you're boring, blah, 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 throwing all these words at you to make you feel like shit and to make you feel like you should be drinking. So on the topic of comparing yourself to other people, I'm going to talk about having an inspiration. It's like when you're trying to get fit and you follow all these people on Instagram for inspiration. It's important that you don't compare yourself to these inspirations. You need to use these inspirations in a way that will turn it into motivation, not jealousy, not envy or other negative emotions. Having an inspiration is important. It helps keep you motivated and it helps keep you determined to reach your end goal. And inspiration can come in the form of many things. It can come in the form of a public figure, someone you know, or even just a thought. Like a thought of the future, you putting yourself in a place and you can think about it and just think, wow, I really want to get to that place. That's inspiring. Like an example, you picture yourself in a house at 35 with a family, a happy family, a dog, and you're sipping wine by a fireplace. That can inspire you, just that thought. It's important for you to realize that you have more time than you think. So many times where I think to myself, fuck, I'm getting really old. And in reality, I'm not old. I feel like I'm getting old because, well, I'm in my mid-20s. When I was a young kid, I always thought people in the mid-20s were so old growing up and got their life together and shit. Mentally, I have matured a bit since I was 18, but in reality, I'm not as far as I thought I would have been in my life. I'd often think that I was running out of time. It's too late to do something new, like go back to school and do a course and get a diploma or a degree in something. It's definitely not. People are in their 40s, even 50s doing that. It's never too late. Especially this day and age, you have all the resources and all the opportunities to go back to school and study something you like. You can even do it online. It's very flexible these days. So it's important to listen to your elders who tell you that at your age, you are still so young and you're so full of possibilities. Personally, I love when someone in their 40s, 50s tell me, you're so young, relax, you got a long way to go. It just cools my anxiety a bit and gives me a little bit of a breath of fresh air. And don't be afraid to ask your elders for advice. Sure, there's different generations, different times, okay, boomer and all that stuff, but they've gone through what you've gone through. Not the exact same situations, of course, but the same feelings, getting old, being a bit lost, not knowing what you want to do. Don't be afraid to ask them for advice. If the advice is shit, don't take it. If it's good, take it. It's really, really important that you take accountability. Acknowledge all of your shortcomings and screw-ups in life. Own them. Learn from them. Embrace your ignorance and be open to new learnings. Accepting the hard truths are the key to recovery and healing. For example, my truth. I had the self-realization, well, I'm a binge drinker. Like I always knew, I drank a lot, but I didn't want to admit to myself or own up to it. I just thought, oh, I'm young, everyone else does it, I'm just doing what is normal. I'll worry about it in 10 years when my fucking liver's shutting down. But no, take accountability today. Own up to it today. Say the hard truths to yourself today, now. If you want to change now, you have to do it now. Not tomorrow, not in a month. The sooner you do it, the sooner you'll be on place to reaching all your targets and living a happier life. I had to say to myself, well, surely my internal organs are not as healthy as they should be. I am getting on the heavier side. Like, I can't use the excuse, oh, COVID, blah, blah, blah. We have an excuse to be lazy. No. If I don't like something, from now on, I'm changing it now. If there's someone in my life that's holding me back, I'm getting rid of them. If there is something in place in my life that is blocking me, I'll do anything I can to move it. And if I can't move it myself, I will ask for help. And I'll do whatever it takes till that thing has been moved. You need to accept your faults and all your flaws. When you have self-acceptance, you have the ability to change. You need to learn from your mistakes. It's important to ask around for help or ask other people for opportunities. Everyone has contacts, friends, blah, blah, blah. Don't use your contacts. Utilize your contacts. There's a difference. And when someone needs to utilize you, be there for them. Favor for favor, karma for karma. You've got a lot more to lose by not asking someone than you do by the chance that they might turn you down. Oh well, move on to the next. There's a saying, those who ask generally receive. If you don't ask at all, you'll never know. It's like that MJ quote, I missed all the shots I didn't take. Trying and failing is so important. Why is it important? Because if you fail, you're left without regret. The kind of regret that in 20 years you just get so mad at yourself and think, why didn't I just give it a try? Why didn't I just attempt it? Who cares if I failed? Now, 20 years later, I'm still living with that regret. I'm still thinking, what if? What could have been? If I just did that one thing differently and just went for it, maybe my life could be way different right now. So that's why it's so important to try and fail rather than not try at all. Don't see failure as a bad thing. See it as an amazing experience. Trying and failing is also important because it gives you the opportunity to reflect and analyze and then react and make necessary changes in order to improve and build on for next time. It's like starting a business and failing. How many learnings you get from that than if you hadn't failed? So now I'm just going to quickly talk about how all of this helped me. So by eliminating the one root cause of several of my problems, I pretty much have managed to turn my life around in a month. Now it is only a month, I'm not getting ahead of myself. This is something I need to stay on course with and commit to. I'm very happy with how I'm doing though. I haven't been too tempted to revert back to my old life, although I am looking forward to my next drink. It is scheduled and I know what day I'm drinking. I'm not just going to wake up and decide, oh, I'm going to drink today. It's going to be scheduled and planned. So as I said, I'm nowhere near the end goal, but I have made it a very encouraging start. I have my short-term and long-term goals set in place, and I'm starting to adapt to the lifestyle change, and I've remained determined and optimistic. I'm applying for jobs. In fact, I've got a job interview tomorrow. It's not an amazing job, but it's a job. It'll keep me busy, it'll keep me distracted, and it will make me feel productive. These are all positive things. I'm healthier and fitter than ever, and I'm regaining self-confidence and belief in myself. My anxiety is decreasing, and having a better understanding of the future and what I can control is creating a more positive outset on my life. I'm ignoring other people's opinions online. Opinions online are nothing but formulated code on a fucking screen. Don't even know half the people who are talking shit. Like, it's literally just a fucking code on a screen. Whatever their opinion is, that is fine. They can keep that for themselves. Whether you choose to digest that verbal diarrhea, that's up to you. Completely up to you. You need to ask yourself what you can and can't control in your life. Now, what you can control, that is what you use to turn your life around. I still receive tons of messages telling me how my career has flopped. And it's crazy because I don't think it's flopped at all. In fact, it was never my career. The Genotsians wasn't a career. It was just a party. It was just fun. And it went for over 5 years. And I had over 5 years of achievements and life memories that no one will ever experience. And that is something I get to take with myself for the rest of my life. If some people have a negative viewpoint that my career has flopped, blah, 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 I'll talk to them when they've experienced what I've experienced. That's all I'll say on that. I've acknowledged that the Genotsians chapter in my life has come to an end, and it's time to let go and start the next. It was always going to happen. It was just a matter of not if, but when. So regardless of anyone's criticism, thoughts or opinions, it's my life. I get to choose what the next chapter is going to be. The power is in my hands. The power is in your hands. You choose. I get to manifest my own vision, and I get to take my life into my own hands. And you have the same power too. All you have to do is start by making small changes, setting short-term goals, and succeeding through the small victories in your life. Okay, so that's about it. There's a lot more I wanted to say. I didn't know how to say it. Sorry if not every sentence made sense. It was kind of freestyled, kind of noted. But that was just a rough recollection of thoughts that went on in my mind when I decided to make that change. 1 month and a bit ago, when I was recovering from a bender at my lowest point, throwing my life away. So, on that note, I hope to hear all your stories, any of your thoughts, anything you'd like to add or comment, anything that you don't agree with, that's fine. We're all individuals, and what's good for some may not be good for others. So, on that note, thank you guys for listening. As usual, the top 5 comments regarding the topic of this video will be featured at the end of the next video. So please do get commenting, and I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye. Peace. comments from last video, brought to you by Luke fucking Brooks.